Hey everybody, it's time for day 22 of the 2015 Advent Calendar, but first, we've got a little something to show you. We're in the danger zone, everybody. No admittance no admittance to the unauthorized. We are totally unauthorized, and yet we're here in the danger zone at the limestone quarry, which we just think is really, really cool. And this is not something you're going to see pretty much on any tour bus ride in Malta or anything like that. We only found it because once upon a time, the GPS, I don't know where the GPS was telling us where to go.
To the Azure window.
Oh, we were trying to get to the Azure window, and the GPS told us to come this way, and you can't see it, but it's on this crazy, winding, dangerous, insanely narrow road, and we happened to drive by this. And we thought, wow, this is really cool. So let me show you what I'm talking about. This is an active limestone quarry pit. One of many, because all of the building, all of the construction in Malta is done pretty much 100% with limestone, because you can see it is a very abundant natural resource. In fact, there's another quarry over there, just on the other side of that little canyon. So, I mean, these things are popping up all over the place. There's another one over, and then there's another one over there. So this is Limestone Quarry Central. And let's go ahead and zoom in, and you can just see all the hundreds, the thousands of limestones that have just been cut right out of the ground and are waiting to be trucked away. I don't really know how impressive this looks on screen, but man, in person, I mean, the size and the scale and the scope is absolutely amazing. Now, we've been here a few times. I've never been lucky enough to be here when they're actually working, but Jen has, and she's seen them, and so she's explained to me, there's one right there. They've got these big, gigantic cutting saw blades, and they put them on these tracks. And so you can see, like over here, there's a track just sitting off to the side, and you can see they're cutting out a line right now with the saw blades. And let's see, I think there's another one down over there that's kind of set up. And then I guess they have another saw blade that'll cut off the bottoms. And, they basically just carve up. We're carving up Malta piece by piece to build on top of it. And it's absolutely fantastic. And actually, you can look at the wall going back. I mean, this is decades of limestone that's been removed with like these really sharp cuts from all the modern equipment to use. But then you look up higher, and now we're not decades ago, we are hundreds of years ago. Before they had all the precision modern tools, these are not nice sharp lines. And of course, over the hundreds of years, they've been eroded and pulled away, but to give you a sense of scale, to pull all the way back, I mean, this was all used to be, and the Maltese have been very, very industrious and carved this all away, and they are continuing to carve deeper and deeper and deeper. Although for any of the wastage, or I guess it's called the spoil, they're slowly filling it back in with just all the stuff, the broken half pieces, the sand, the silt and whatnot. So, I don't know, maybe people think this is interesting, maybe it's not. We love it. I mean, we just think it's absolutely fascinating, and I'm hoping someday to be able to get them, to see them actually working on it, but Jen's actually been down here and seen them working live. In fact, this is a new sign. In the past, Jen has just kept on driving all the way down and driven right up, and heck, maybe that's why they put the sign up, because of Jen, because he kept showing up and showing people, this place that nobody even knows is out here. So, we just thought this was really cool, and again, not something you would see on a normal tour, but obviously a huge part of Malta, because everything is, our roads are all made with limecrete instead of concrete. All of our buildings are made with this limestone. This is like the staple of Maltese life. Actually, while we're out here, I'll just pan around a little bit more. This is kind of interesting. I think I mentioned this earlier. Farming is a big, big deal in Malta because, of course, Malta's an island in the middle of the Mediterranean and wants to be as self-sufficient as possible. So every possible square inch of this island, even in this little tiny mini canyon, they've gone on ahead and shored up and made farmland here that they will be. I don't even know how they get down here. I mean, because we're in the middle of nowhere. There's just these old, beat-up roads, and but people are going to come out here with old, run-down tractors.
They have rototillers.
They have rototillers,
so what
Jen would like to say.
All right. They put a rototiller, and then the motor on the rototiller actually is used to propel, and they put a cart behind the rototiller. So you see these farmers driving their rototillers with a cart behind, and usually they'll have their dog in the cart and some sacks of vegetables and all sorts of stuff. It's just,
yeah, they're really cool. I mean, I know what Jen's talking about. It's like, imagine just like a single rototiller farm blade thing that you would expect some horse to pull, but they basically slapped an engine on it and a seat on it, and they're just driving them down the road. They're like these weird, crazy alternate steampunk science fiction farming equipment things that they use to get out here in the middle of nowhere to film on these ridiculous little, I'm sorry, not film, to farm on these ridiculous narrow little strips of land that they have reclaimed. You can see it, it's everywhere. You know, like this, these strip farming, it makes the landscape very, very interesting. And meanwhile, here's some people like us a couple of years ago. The GPS told us to come down this road, and now these poor tourists say, well, how do we get out of here? Where are we going? What's happening? Or actually, well, and we just covered up the sign, so they don't know. But heck, maybe they work here, I don't know. But anyway, folks, we just think this is really, really awesome. Oh, wait, Jen has something more to say.
You can see a cave up there. See where the line of trees is and then downwind level?
A what? A cave?
Yep.
Am I looking at it? I'm not sure.
See the line of trees and downwind level?
Okay.
Do you see it?
I can't because the screen is complete. I can't make out what I'm filming.
There's lots and lots of caves around here too, which the farmers would use as their sort of summer abode. And now you can see, here's another person who has created something that's a little bit more permanent. And I think actually he keeps his wild birds in there. That's a little aviary over there.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Right. So
there's all sorts of stuff.
All sorts of stuff.
We want to talk about the hunting blinds as well.
Well, Jen would like to point out the hunting blinds because there's a hunting blind down there, I think. Yep.
There's an older one made of stone down into the.
And you know, there's a more modern one that's probably actually still in use, and then an older stone one down there that has fallen into disrepair. So, what do you want to say about the hunting blinds, Honey Pie?
Well, Malta is a big stopover for migratory birds, and so unfortunately, what? Talk louder?
Yes.
Okay. So unfortunately, there's a very treasured history of hunting birds in this country, and there was a big referendum on it about a year ago about, well, should that still be allowed or should it not still be allowed? And it just barely passed. It just barely passed. So the hunters are still allowed to do it. But about 50% of the population thought it was probably time to stop that. But we're talking about little tiny birds, nothing that you would eat. It's just purely hunting for sports, it seems like. And so we find it
it's a real problem because the birds, they're migrating from Africa into northern Europe, and they have to stop here. And so hunters just come out in these blinds and they sit out here for hours or days just waiting to take a pot shot at these little tiny, tropical birds. I don't know, for me and Jen, we find it quite abhorrent, and I guess it's good that 50% of the voting public finds it abhorrent, or 49%, although unfortunately 51% still wants to hold on to their traditions and their heritage and kill lots of birds who just are trying to get by. It's really quite weird. Speaking of voting, another interesting tidbit, something like 96% of all eligible Maltese voters actually vote. This is a very politically conscious, very politically active country, in addition to being an incredibly religious country. It's a weird country of all kinds of dichotomies, and it's where we live. Anyway, folks, enough about that. Let's open a drawer. I think we're on day 22 now, right?
Yes.
All right, so where is day 22? Oh, right there, right smack dab in the middle of there. All right, open her up, Honey Pie.
It is Isle of Skye.
Isle of Skye!
That's what
oh, yay! This Isle of Skye, spoiler alert, I think is in my top 5 games of the year. This is an absolutely phenomenal game. Jen's actually looking for the phone so she can look up the rules, but maybe she should ensure that doesn't, this poor advent calendar's been through a lot. But you don't even have to, we know Isle of Skye, so this is 2 new scoring tiles. Looks like score for actually having, I guess, scrolls, and score for having horizontal lines. Let's see. Oh, yeah, the horizontal lines that are at least 3 long. So, this is awesome. We are definitely going to be using these. Very, very excited because we love Isle of Skye. And more scoring equals better. And here come the tourists again, finding out, that was kind of a dead end. Or is that a different car? Let's see. Nope, actually, anyway. But anyway, folks, that's it. Day 22, Limestone Quarry, here in Gozo, Malta. Thanks for watching, everybody. Talk to you later. So long. Bye-bye.